Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite healer in Epic 7, which is Angelic Montmorancy. And I think in my opinion she is the best 3-star healer in the game. I'm not sure if Doris is gonna, surpass her in any way with her, new changes coming up, so that'll have to be assessed, the situation. And I'm going to talk about the pros and cons in terms of, whether or not you should invest your time and energy into, leveling Angelic Montmorancy. So first off, I'm going to go over the pros. First is that if you didn't roll healer that have cleanse ability like Angelica, and if you didn't get any 5-star healer for your selective summon, you opt for like Veldred or other dog walkers, then you might consider putting some time and effort into leveling your Angelic Montmorancy. And in terms of her strength, is that I think she's a really powerful cleanse bot, and within the game and across the content you need to have cleanses because some mob or bosses will debuff your units. The second pro is that you can see right here all her abilities is 5, which is maxed out. And with the changes back a while back is that 3-star units takes only sigmas to scale up here. So with the scale up and everything, it's gonna help improve her healing abilities. You see here is plus healing and plus more healing, so it makes her viable in late game content. And so also the third pro that I have is that she is relatively easy to acquire. If you regularly roll on banners for character, chances are you will get a lot of copies of Angelic Montmorancy, which enables you to SSS her imprint. And this is one of the few characters where the imprint concentration is actually very useful here, because she needs effective resistance to activate one of her abilities, which makes her even stronger. And the fourth pros that I have is that I think because she's very versatile as a cleanse bot, at least the way I built her, she can use basically for everything in the game. There's no reason not to build her because healers is required in most of the modes. And then relatively she's easy to build. I'm going to showcase her after. So one of the cons with Angelic Montmorancy is that she is actually not that beginner friendly, but you can still use her as you progress through adventure mode, which is fine. But in order to build her up to the level where she can compete with the other 5-star healers, is that you need to specialty change her, and that will take quite some time to grind up and to complete the quest for specialty change. So if you're a person who don't like to grind and you have if you have Angelica already, then you might not want to level her up. But most players just level her up because of her strong cycling cleansing ability. And another con with Angelic Montmorancy is that you will need to farm a lot of Greater Frost runes as well as Epic Frost rune to complete her skill tree. And it's only after you complete her skill tree she becomes really powerful. And it takes about 410 Greater runes, these one right here, and 40 Epic runes, and it has to be this element for you to scale up these various abilities where she shines. And this is the skill right here, Prosperity Rune, which increased the caster's combat radiance by 10% after using purification if the caster's effective resistance is over 100%. So she's one of the characters that benefits from effective resistant gear, and which makes her kind of unique. So if you have a piece that have that one odd ER with health and defense, is that even if you roll into ER you can still use it, which is quite nice. And also, that's about the cons I have with Angelic Montmorancy, is to, in order to, you know, get her to her 100% potential, it's gonna take time. But if you're playing Epic 7 grinding, it's not, you know, anything new here. And so I'm gonna talk about, next thing is what kind of content she'll be used for most. You can use her in Guild Wars, you can use her in Arena as well, on defense team, sometimes at lower levels. Obviously higher levels, it's gonna take a different setup, but as you're starting, you might consider, you know, using her. And for Spirit Altar, you know, she, as a general healer and you're starting, she could provide some, you know, healing assistant to clear your Spirit Altar. I think Abyss, she's very useful because there's a lot of boss that, you know, do debuffs. So for sure, Abyss, you can use her there, as well as Hunt. Notably, the Wolverine 11 here, she can definitely tank Wolverine 11, or, you know, be a secondary healer if you're starting up as a new player. And I'm pretty sure you can use her for Banshee because she debuffs a lot, as well as Manak Hunt here. Golem maybe not so sure because it's, you know, you get trucked down by Golem. And for sure, one of the other pros, actually I forgot to mention, is if you're doing raids, she's really good in certain morale team, which, you know, give you which means that you need morales to move and to, you know, clear more as Mechanis here. And so I'll show you my Hellraid team here in a second. So for right here, this is one of the team I have for raids, which gives me 39 morale total. You know, basically she's in a lot of calm position, which gives a lot of morale. And so that's one of another pros I really forgot to mention. So in this case, you know, she serves as like a semi-tank and healer role here, which is pretty damn nice. And she can also do that for W11 if you have enough gear and defense to soak up W11's fire breath. And let's talk about the build real quick. The way I like to set her up, and I think it's the best setup, is if you run, you know, speed. Here you can see her stats. Pretty beefy for her health, almost 20k. If I want to run Wyvern 11, I need probably higher defense, ideally. And her speed's almost 200. Obviously, I'm running speed boots here. You just want, you know, the generic healer stats, which is, you know, speed, health, defense, and in this case, effective resistance for her. So, you know, 10 speed, just health, and high effective resistance. So this rings perfect for her, the way I set her up with defense. And you know, 60 health, 8 speed, 12 defense. Those are the stats you're kind of looking for. Effective resistant. And this helm here you can, you know, acquire from just, you know, arenas. And, you know, it's not that hard to gear her up. You know, this is from the Automaton Tower. This is from the event. And it's only a 70 speed blade, right? So while you're crafting for gear for other people, so you can use, you know, these side gears that, you know, aside from gearing your DPS speed or whatnot, right? So health, ER, speed, those are the stats you're looking for. As for artifact, I like to run Magahara's Tome because this enables her to really be speedy and kind of lap over your enemy in terms of, you know, this build. And, you know, in terms of the healing, it's kind of weaker if you run it compared to, you know, the other artifacts like Rod of Marilis, and, or, you know, there's other healing artifacts that are viable for her. Yeah, here you can see various artifact here. I think some people ran Shimadra's staff here. It gives her like tremendous healing. She can do some crazy, you know, S2. Also, this one's not bad because she's gonna use, you know, she has 2 non-attack skills, the second and third skill. This is gonna pump up your healing. Celestine, I'm not sure, this is probably not good for her. And as for lower star artifact, 3-star, you can try running this Prolific Stick Candlestick if you run her as a tank, so she can have her cooldown reduce if she gets attacked. Also, I think that's about it for Angelic Montmorancy. So right here I'm going to showcase her tanking in W11. So in this case, she tanks and heal, mainly healing herself. By no means this is a setup that is optimized for speed. I just want to showcase her ability to tank and heal and help you clear Wyvern 11 in that particular role. And so I'm using Tarana Guard here as a armor break, so there's more DPS onto the boss Wyvern 11. And Luna here is the quote-unquote main DPS. And the reason I'm using Avil is that he's a decent DPS. Also, he can clear this first wave quicker. As you can see, A.Mont here is cycling through her skills very quickly. She's able to use her S2 over and over again. If, say, you're in a scenario where the boss debuffs a lot, then she can potentially cleanse 2 sets of debuffs, by cleansing and then lapping the enemy again. So here you can see her third skill is really strong. She can top herself off, sustaining the team as well here. And Luna's gonna hopefully get some nice damage in here. That's good, 20k. And as you can see, she's soaking pretty well. Wow, Avil's blind buff's actually coming into handy. We're coming into play here, which kind of defeats the purpose. Because usually she takes a lot more damage without that Avil's blind buff. So maybe let him do his barrier phase, and then you can see how much she can tank.
Here I go.
So Magahara's Tome kicked in there. She's already right behind the boss. She could go again. And I've seen people run Water's Origin on her to help sustain. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna get the barrier phase. And hopefully I'll kill him before the next one. So I mean, as a starting farming team, it does its job properly. And as a 3-star healer, it's pretty damn nice. A.Mont, for those who doesn't have Angelica or W11. So in this way, she could replace Angelica with the proper gear and build. So I got lucky there with armor break and Luna. That was quite a quick clear. So here for a second run, let's see if Avil doesn't apply his blind buff and how well she will do. Because there are instances where if she falls behind in heal and get unlucky because she gets crit by Wolverine 11, then there are times where she's really close to dying. So by no means I'm saying this is perfect or anything like that, and sometimes RNG, you don't get lucky with those RNG, and so just do another run to make sure you know what you're getting into when you build her. And yeah, she's cycling fast, said before. I love the Magahara's Tome build. It's because then it resets her cooldown faster for S3 and S2. That's awesome. Dual attack, that's pretty lucky there. So in this case here, she tops herself off and do a useless heal there. Yeah, the RNG is really lucky here for this particular run. So she got crit once. So she could get crit 3 times if you're unlucky there, and she'll get low and it'll be harder to catch up. So this is the time with no Avil's blind buff. Wow. Okay, good thing she already has her S3 up. But it gets kind of dicey because she's falling behind right now. Ideally, you want higher defense here. So when you're building yours, if you have proper roll, then you know higher defense will be very important. Because then you might not have enough DPS like me, like if you have Luna or Avil. So if you fall behind and Angelic Montmorancy drops, then you probably might get wiped.
It's going to be okay.
So in this case, you know, getting some lucky dual attack in. Okay, it's almost dead. So this one's pretty solid, I think. Got a gold helmet too. Alright, so that's it for the W11 build right here. And let's get right into it. And with the high morale, it's a pretty decent setup in my opinion. And she's gonna do the same thing, tank and heal. So let's get right into it.
Here I go.
Let's get manual this. So there you have it. Left boss is dead. It's totally viable for health as well. Just want to showcase her, even though it was kind of sloppy, but she was able to sustain the team.
It's hard.
So in conclusion, you should definitely build her regardless of how far you are in the game it is, and she's gonna help you a lot. And that is it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Take care.
Insignificant. Descending blade! All that's left is ruin. If only everything would be destroyed.